High up in a quiet green forest lived a young monkey named Milo. He was a playful and curious little guy, always swinging from branch to branch. But his laughter, once so bright, had grown soft and distant. He had lost his family in a great terrible storm, and since that day, a quiet sadness had settled over him. Milo spent his days swinging through the trees all by himself, chattering away. Pretending the ancient, mossy trunks were listening to his stories, he was surrounded by life, yet he felt utterly alone. At the very edge of that same forest lived Bruno, an old stray dog. His legs were tired from years of wandering, but his heart was still full of a gentle, unwavering kindness. He had once belonged to a loving family, but one day they left and never came back for him. The ache of that loss was a constant companion. Every single evening, without fail, Bruno would walk to the edge of the forest, his ears perked up, hoping, still hoping, that someone, anyone, would call his name and welcome him home. One gray, rainy afternoon, the world was slick with water. Milo was practicing a particularly daring swing when his little hand slipped from a wet branch. He tumbled through the air with a cry of surprise and fear. But before that fear could truly take hold, he heard a sound cutting through the rain, a loud, urgent bark. It was Bruno. He had heard Milo's cry and ran toward the sound as fast as his tired legs could carry him. He didn't hesitate for a moment. The old dog stayed right by Milo's side until the very last drop of rain stopped falling. Shielding the small, shivering monkey with his own body, he offered his warmth and his presence, a silent promise that he wouldn't leave. From that day on, an unlikely friendship blossomed. Milo and Bruno were inseparable. They had found in each other what the world had taken away, a family. Milo, with his nimble hands, would climb the highest trees to find the sweetest, juiciest fruits, carefully bringing them down to share with Bruno. In return, Bruno shared his warmth on cool nights, a comforting, steady presence against the darkness. They created their own little language of trust and care. When thunderstorms rolled through the valley and Milo felt the old fear creeping back into his heart, Bruno would stay awake all night, his head resting near the little monkey, a silent guardian. And when Bruno's old legs ached with a deep, weary pain, Milo would walk slowly beside him, gently holding onto his tail, offering support in his own small way. They didn't need words to understand each other's pain or to offer comfort. Years passed, turning the seasons over and over. Their bond deepened with every shared sunrise and sunset. Milo grew from a lonely young monkey into a confident, caring friend. Bruno, in his old age, found a purpose and a love he thought he had lost forever. Then, one quiet, peaceful morning, as the first light touched the forest floor, Bruno didn't wake up. He had passed away gently in his sleep, finally at rest. Milo sat beside his dear friend, holding his paw, his small body shaking with silent sobs. His tears fell like raindrops onto the forest floor, watering the earth that had been their home. The trees, usually so full of chirps and rustles, were completely silent, as if holding their breath in respect. But a soft breeze stirred the leaves, and the wind that touched Milo's face felt warm, gentle, like a final, loving goodbye. With a heavy heart, Milo began to climb. He went higher and higher, all the way to the very top of the tallest tree in the forest. He looked out over the world, toward the vast, endless sky. And in that moment, gazing at the horizon where the sun was rising, he realized something profound. For the first time since the great storm, he didn't feel alone. He felt Bruno's presence all around him, in the warmth of the sun, in the whisper of the wind. Bruno had taught him the most precious lesson of all: true love doesn't leave. It doesn't vanish or fade away. It finds a permanent home right here, inside the heart, and stays with you forever. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that celebrates the power of connection. See you in the next video.